Collectors, today we're hunting for the rarest and most valuable treasures in the entire presidential dollar series. We're targeting the legendary first President George Washington, the elusive second John Adams, the scarce fourth James Madison, and the controversial seventh Andrew Jackson. These aren't just coins, they're potential jackpots hiding in plain sight, and we're revealing which errors and conditions can turn them into a fortune. Let's begin the hunt. First coin. The 2007 P. George Washington presidential dollar is a cornerstone of modern numismatics, representing a pivotal moment in the United States' foray into contemporary dollar coin series. Its appeal extends beyond mere face value, captivating collectors with its unique position as the inaugural issue of a program designed to honor the nation's presidents. This coin is highly sought after not only for its historical precedence, but also for its surprising complexities in minting and preservation, which have created distinct tiers of rarity and value. The general market demand for this coin, particularly in pristine conditions and for specific era varieties, ensures it remains a focal point for both seasoned numismatists and new enthusiasts entering the field, solidifying its status as a modern classic. Issued in 2007, this coin launched the Presidential Dollar Series, authorized by the Presidential $1 Coin Act of 2005. It specifically commemorates the presidency of George Washington, serving as a tangible link to the very foundations of the American executive branch from 1780 to 91797. The P mint mark denotes its origin at the Philadelphia Mint, the nation's first and primary minting facility, adding a layer of traditional significance to its production. The coin's release was part of a broader, and ultimately unsuccessful, governmental effort to circulate dollar coins more widely, a historical context that now adds a narrative of ambitious failure to the series, making these early, well-preserved examples all the more intriguing as artifacts of that policy. From a design perspective, the coin breaks from tradition. The obverse, crafted by renowned sculptor-engraver Don Everhart, features a strikingly modern and dignified portrait of Washington facing left, a departure from the right-facing bust commonly seen on the quarter. The inscriptions George Washington, 1 St. President, and his term years, 1780-91797, frame the portrait. The reverse, which was standard for the first year of the series, depicts the Statue of Liberty, along with the inscriptions $1 and United States of America. Its golden hue comes from a manganese brass composition, 77% copper, 12% zinc, 7% manganese, and 4% nickel, and its lack of a reeded edge was a deliberate choice, creating a smooth surface that would soon become the canvas for one of the most famous minting errors in recent history. The rarity of the 2007 P. Washington dollar is not rooted in a low mintage. Over 176 million were struck, but in condition and, most importantly, the presence or absence of the edge lettering. A significant portion of the first-year production run left the Philadelphia Mint without the mandated edge inscriptions E+LURIBUS-UNUM, In God WE Trust, and the year and mint mark. These plain edge or godless dollars are the key to the coin's high value. Finding such an error in mint state condition, completely absent of any contact marks or bagging, is exceptionally challenging, as many coins were released into circulation or handled bulkily at the mint. Thus, the scarcity is of premium quality error coins, not the issue as a whole. In the current numismatic market, the value of a standard circulated 2007 P dollar is minimal. However, a certified mint state, MS60 to MS70, example with the missing edge lettering commands a substantial premium. Prices for these error coins in grades from MS63 to MS65 typically range from $600 to $1,500, as their discovery was relatively common in the initial release. The true pinnacle of value is reached by those specimens graded MS66 and above, where populations plummet. A coin graded MS67, by a top-tier service can realize prices from $3,000 to $5,000 at major auctions, with the absolute finest known examples potentially approaching even higher figures, driven by intense competition among registry-set collectors. For collectors pursuing this modern rarity, certification by either PCGS or NGC is non-negotiable. These services authenticate the coin, confirm the missing edge lettering variety, and assign a definitive grade, which is crucial for establishing its market value. When examining a raw coin, one should look for the complete absence of any edge lettering and seek examples with full, unbroken luster, minimal bag marks on the surfaces, and sharp striking details, particularly on Washington's hair. Acquiring such a piece is best done through reputable numismatic dealers, major auction houses, or trusted online marketplaces where the coin's encapsulated and verified status is guaranteed. Proper storage is paramount to preserving the coin's value. It should be housed in its certification slab or, if raw, in a non-PVC archival holder, and stored in a stable, dry environment away from direct sunlight or fluctuating temperatures. Handling should be kept to an absolute minimum, and if necessary, the coin should only be held by its edges to prevent oils from fingers from damaging the delicate surface. For the serious collector, integrating this piece into a broader collection, such as a complete presidential dollar set, a specialized study of modern mint errors, or a collection focused on George Washington numismatics, enhances its contextual significance and overall appeal. Ultimately, the 2007 George Washington presidential dollar with the missing edge lettering stands as a quintessential modern numismatic treasure. It encapsulates a specific and fascinating minting oversight, possesses a bold and beautiful design, and holds a foundational place in a major U.S. coin series. Its dual appeal lies in its accessibility as a recently issued coin and the elite status of its high-grade error varieties, making it a compelling target for collectors at all levels. As the foundational coin of its series and a documented mint error, its historical, aesthetic, and investment value is secure, promising continued interest and appreciation for generations to come. Next coin. Today we are taking a close look at a piece of American presidential history that is far more complex and intriguing than its small size might suggest: the 2007 John Adams presidential dollar. Struck at the Denver Mint over 2 centuries after the man himself left office, this coin is a modern collectible that has a story to tell, especially when found, like this one, in a very dirty and well-circulated condition. While many collectors seek out pristine examples, there is a certain raw, historical charm to a coin that has clearly passed through countless hands, a silent witness to everyday commerce. The presidential dollar series itself was an ambitious program to honor each past president in the order they served, and this particular coin, representing the second commander-in-chief, holds a special place for its historical significance and the fascinating minting year it hails from, making it a compelling and surprisingly accessible target for collectors today. The year 2007 was the inaugural year for the presidential dollar series, which kicked off with the George Washington coin, followed immediately by this John Adams piece. The Denver Mint, one of 2 facilities producing these coins for circulation alongside Philadelphia, was working at a high volume to get these new dollars into the public's hands. A major historical context for this series was the controversial presidential $1 Coin Act, which mandated their production. Initially, there was a significant push to get these coins into circulation, but public indifference towards the dollar coin as a circulating medium in the United States was swift and decisive. They quickly began to pile up in Federal Reserve vaults and bank storerooms, never achieving the everyday usage the government had hoped for. This specific 2007 issue, therefore, comes from a period of great optimism followed by rapid failure for the circulating dollar coin, a narrative that is now baked into its history and affects its availability and condition today. The design of the John Adams dollar is stark and bold, focused entirely on portraiture and text. The obverse, designed by Joel Iskowitz and sculpted by Don Everhart, features a compelling right-facing profile portrait of a determined-looking John Adams. The inscriptions include John Adams, second president, and his dates in office, 1797–1801. The edge of the coin is a critical feature for this series. It contains the inscriptions E+LURIBUS In God We Trust, and the year and mint mark. On this particular coin, the edge lettering is virtually worn away, a common fate for these coins as they were stored and transported in bulk, rattling against each other and smoothing out these important details. The reverse side, a statue-like rendition of the Statue of Liberty by artist and sculptor Don Everhart, is consistent across all presidential dollars, representing a unifying theme for the series, but often showing heavy wear and contact marks, especially on the high points of Liberty's torch and gown, as seen on this heavily soiled example. When we talk about rarity and survival, this 2007 John Adams dollar presents a fascinating paradox. In terms of pure mintage figures, it is not a rare coin at all. Hundreds of millions were struck. However, the concept of rarity shifts dramatically when we consider condition. While millions exist, the vast majority succumb to the fate of this example. They entered circulation, became dirty, scratched, and worn. What becomes genuinely scarce are examples that survived completely untouched in brilliant, mint-state condition, still bearing their original luster and sharp edge lettering. This coin, in its very dirty state, represents the overwhelming majority of the surviving population. Its rarity is non-existent in a numerical sense, but its condition tells the common story of the series' failure in circulation. Finding one of these that has been preserved in a high grade is the real challenge for collectors, as most were subjected to the harsh environment of commerce and bulk storage. Within the broader presidential dollar series, this John Adams issue stands out as a key first-year-of-issue coin. It is the second coin in the entire collection, setting the stage for all that would follow. For collectors building a complete set, whether by year, by mint mark, or by president, this is an essential and foundational piece. Its demand is steady and consistent, driven more by its series' significance than its individual scarcity. It stands out not because it is hard to find in any condition, but because finding one in a pleasing, problem-free circulated condition, or better yet a high grade, requires a keen eye. The demand for a coin like this dirty 2007 D is primarily from type collectors, and those just starting their journey into the series who need an affordable placeholder, while the serious demand and premium prices are reserved for those superb gem examples that somehow escaped the wear and tear that plagued their siblings. So what is a coin like this? A 2007 John Adams presidential dollar in a very dirty, circulated condition, worth in today's market. You must be realistic with your expectations. This is not a coin that will fund your retirement. In this low-end, well-worn state, its value is purely nominal. You would be looking at a market value of simply its face value of $1, or perhaps a small premium of $1 to $2 if sold as a type coin in a bulk lot. However, this price trajectory changes dramatically as the condition improves. A clean, uncirculated example with full edge lettering and original luster can command between $5 and $15. The true market excitement and significant value, reaching into the hundreds of dollars, is reserved for the highest tier graded examples, those designated as perfect MS69 or MS70 by the major grading services, which represent the absolute pinnacle of the minting art for this issue. For collectors interested in pursuing this coin, your strategy should be entirely focused on condition. For a circulated example, look for one that is honest and problem-free like this one, with no active corrosion or deliberate damage, just honest wear and dirt. If you are aiming for a mint state example, you need to be vigilant. Seek out coins that retain their original cartwheel luster, have no bag marks or contact scars on the obverse portrait or the reverse's liberty, and most critically, possess full, clearly readable edge lettering. Because these coins were often stored loose, finding one with pristine edges is the biggest challenge. Your best hunting grounds for a higher-grade raw specimen would be sealed bank rolls from 2007, original mint sets, or the boxes of small dollars that banks sometimes still have sitting in vaults. For guaranteed quality, purchasing a coin already graded and slabbed by PCGS or NGC is the safest, though more expensive, route. In conclusion, the 2007 D. John Adams Presidential Dollar is a piece of modern numismatic history that embodies the failed experiment of a circulating dollar coin. While common in worn grades, it remains a cornerstone of a popular and collectible series. Its appeal lies in its direct connection to a foundational American president and its status as a first-year issue. For the new collector, a coin like this dirty, circulated example is the perfect, low-cost entry point into the hobby. For the seasoned specialist, the pursuit of a flawless, gem mint state example with perfect edges offers a legitimate and rewarding challenge. It is a coin of layers, where its commonness in one state belies its genuine scarcity in another, making it a fascinating and enduring subject for any collection. Now, while this Adams dollar tells a story of a modern coin's struggle in circulation, the next coin we will examine is from a completely different era and metal. It's a classic silver piece that has captivated collectors for generations, and it presents a whole different set of challenges when it comes to finding one with original color and surfaces. Stay with us because coming up next, we have a stunning 1930s mercury dime that showcases just how beautiful a naturally toned coin can be. Third coin. Among the extensive array of modern U.S. coinage, the 2007 D. James Madison Presidential Dollar holds a particularly enigmatic and coveted position. While the series itself was intended for general circulation, this specific issue has captivated the numismatic community due to a remarkable anomaly: the confirmed existence of a handful of examples struck on a 22-karat gold planchet intended for first spouse metals. This extraordinary minting error transcends the coin's typical bullion value, elevating it to the pinnacle of modern rarities and making it one of the most dramatic and desirable treasures for specialists in era variety coinage and presidential series collectors alike. Its allure is not merely in its composition, but in the sheer improbability of its existence, a perfect storm of minting process fallibility that created a numismatic legend from the 21st century. The historical context of this coin is rooted in the Presidential $1 Coin Act of 2005, which sought to honor the nation's leaders in the order they served. James Madison, the father of the Constitution, was the fourth president featured, with his coins released in 2007. Simultaneously, the U.S. Mint was producing the first spouse gold $10 coins, which featured the president's wives. The Denver Mint, one of the primary production facilities, was tasked with striking both the copper-nickel-clad presidential dollars and the 22-karat gold first spouse metals. It was within this shared production environment that a catastrophic error occurred. A small number of Madison dollar dies received the incorrect and vastly more valuable gold planchets. This created a numismatic artifact that physically links two separate but concurrent coinage programs in a single, breathtaking error. Visually, the coin is a study in deceptive normalcy and profound difference. To the casual observer, the design is familiar. The obverse features a compelling portrait of James Madison by sculptor-engraver Don Everhart, with the inscriptions James Madison, 4th President, and his years in office, 1809-1817. The reverse depicts the Statue of Liberty, as do all coins in the series. However, the unique specimen's material is what defines its splendor. Instead of the standard manganese brass-clad composition, this coin is struck from a solid 22-karat gold planchet, giving it a distinct, rich yellow gold color, and a significantly heavier weight. In high-grade condition, the strike is exceptionally sharp, with the fine details of Madison's hair and the folds of Liberty's gown standing in brilliant relief against the mirrored fields, a testament to the superior striking qualities of the gold metal. The rarity of the 2007 D. James Madison gold era is absolute and staggering. While the exact number of specimens that escaped the mint is unknown, experts believe only 3 to 5 examples exist, placing its scarcity on par with the most famous classic U.S. rarities. Unlike coins with low mintage figures, this variety was never officially meant to be struck, making every known example a profound mint error. Condition is paramount, and the finest known specimen, certified MS-69 by a leading grading service, represents the absolute peak of this variety's population. The combination of such an extreme error, a minuscule surviving population, and the potential for a superb gem state creates a perfect catalyst for intense collector demand and stratospheric market value. The market value for this numismatic unicorn is firmly established in the realm of 6 figures, reflecting its status as a pinnacle modern rarity. While a standard 2007 D presidential dollar is face value, an example of this gold era commands auction prices that can approach or even exceed $600,000, a figure that is both realistic and documented in past sales. The value is driven exclusively by its unique composition and extreme scarcity, not by its denomination. As one of the most significant mint errors of the modern era, its appreciation has been dramatic, and it consistently performs as a blue-chip asset within the numismatic market, with each public sale setting a new benchmark for the series. For any collector aspiring to own such a prize, the approach must be one of extreme diligence and patience. Acquisition is solely through major auction houses or private treaty sales facilitated by the most elite numismatic dealers. Certification by either PCGS or NGC is non-negotiable. The holder not only authenticates the coin and its error, but also encapsulates and protects it, while the assigned grade provides a critical benchmark for its condition, and consequently, its value. Given the coin's immense worth, secure storage, such as a bank vault or a high-security home safe, is imperative. Engaging with the specialized community of era variety collectors can provide crucial market intelligence should an example ever become available. In conclusion, the 2007 D. James Madison presidential dollar struck on a gold planchet is far more than a coin. It is a numismatic monument to minting fallibility and collector aspiration. It embodies a unique moment where 2 distinct U.S. mint programs collided to create an accidental masterpiece. Its profound rarity, intrinsic gold content, and historical significance as a modern era make it a centerpiece object for any advanced collection. This coin represents the ultimate pursuit for specialists, a piece that encapsulates the thrill of the hobby, the discovery of the extraordinary within the seemingly ordinary, and stands as a testament to the enduring and ever-evolving legacy of American coinage. Last coin. Today we are taking a close look at a truly unique piece of modern American coinage, the 2008 P. Andrew Jackson presidential $1 coin. Now, you might see a gold-colored dollar and think it's just common pocket change, but this particular example, in its very dirty and well-circulated condition, tells a fascinating story that makes it highly collectible. The presidential dollar series was conceived as a successor to the popular state quarters, aiming to honor each past president in the order they served. And this specific coin marks the 7th entry in that prestigious collection. What makes a circulated coin like this so interesting is not its pristine beauty, but rather its history and the context of its issue, especially the controversial figure it represents and the era varieties that emerged from its year of minting. For a collector, finding a coin like this is about connecting with a specific moment in the U.S. mint's history, a period of transition and unexpected numismatic opportunities that we will delve into right now. The year 2008 was a significant one for the U.S. Mint, and for this series. This was the second year of production for the presidential dollars, and the Mint was churning out these coins in the billions, intending them for widespread circulation. However, a major public indifference to the dollar coin meant that many, including this Philadelphia Mint issue, sat in storage or entered circulation only to be quickly mistreated and ignored. The P Mint mark here denotes the Philadelphia Mint, the main producer of this issue. The most critical historical context for this coin, however, revolves around the edge lettering fiasco. Initially, these coins featured the date, mint mark, and mottos E+LURIBUS and In God WE Trust on the edge. Due to a massive minting error, a substantial number of coins, including many from Philadelphia, were struck without this edge lettering, creating the famous godless or plain edge varieties. This manufacturing oversight, combined with the coin's general lack of public use, creates a compelling background for this seemingly ordinary piece. The design of the Andrew Jackson dollar is rich with symbolism. The obverse, designed by artist Joel Iskovitz, features a robust portrait of the 7th president facing left, with his famous unruly hair clearly detailed. The inscriptions include Andrew Jackson, 7th president, and the years of his term, 1829–1837. The reverse, a common design for the entire series by Don Everhart, depicts a striking rendition of the Statue of Liberty. She is shown full figure, holding the familiar torch in her right hand and an olive branch in her left, symbolizing both enlightenment and peace. The denomination, $1, is prominently displayed to her right. On a standard specimen, the edge would be lettered, but as we noted, the potential for a missing edge lettering is a key feature to check. On this dirty example, the high points of the design, like Jackson's cheekbone and Liberty's torch, show wear and dark tunning, while the protected areas, like the fields, hold the grime of over a decade of potential circulation, which ironically can help preserve the underlying surfaces from further abrasion. When we discuss the rarity and survival of this coin, we must approach it from two distinct angles, the regular strike and the error variety. In purely high-grade, gem-uncirculated condition, the 2008 P. Andrew Jackson dollar is exceptionally common, with hundreds of millions minted. However, the numismatic landscape changes dramatically when we focus on circulated examples and the error coins. A coin like this, in a very dirty and well-worn state, is actually quite uncommon because so few of these dollars ever saw sustained commercial use. People simply did not spend them. Furthermore, the plain edge error version is a recognized condition rarity. While its exact population is unknown, finding any 2008 P dollar, especially a Jackson, with a completely smooth edge is a notable discovery. This coin's survival in this dirty state suggests it was one of the few that actually passed from hand to hand, making it a genuine artifact of brief circulation. Within the broader presidential dollar series, this Andrew Jackson issue stands out for several reasons that drive collector demand. Firstly, Jackson is a perpetually controversial and thus highly noted historical figure, ensuring his coin always garners attention. Secondly, the 2008 date places it squarely in the window for the valuable edge lettering errors, creating a constant hunt among collectors examining bankrupt rolls and circulation finds. While the series is modern, the pursuit is not for a high-grade example, which can be bought for a small premium over face value, but for these curious circulated and error pieces that tell a more complete story. A dirty coin like this has a character and a history that a pristine, never-touched coin from a mint bag does not possess. It represents a failed attempt at a circulating dollar and serves as a tangible relic of that policy, making it far more interesting to a thematic or variety collector than a common uncirculated specimen. So, what is the market value for a 2008 P. Andrew Jackson dollar in a condition such as this? For a standard example with normal edge lettering in this very dirty, circulated state, the value is primarily numismatic. sitting in the range of $5 to $10. It is worth significantly more than its $1 face value due to its collectible nature as a circulated presidential coin. However, the value equation shifts dramatically if this coin were to be identified as the plain edge error. A confirmed 2008 P. Andrew Jackson dollar missing its edge lettering, even in a heavily circulated and dirty grade, can command a premium between $500 and $800 in today's market, with sharper examples reaching even higher price points. The value is not in its state of preservation, but in its mint-made error status. Therefore, carefully checking the edge of any 2008 dollar is the single most important step in determining its true market worth. For collectors aiming to find a coin like this, your strategy should be very specific. Do not focus on seeking out pristine, brilliant examples. They are plentiful and inexpensive. Instead, you should be searching through bank rolls or old holdings where circulated and dirty dollars might be found. Your primary goal is to meticulously check the edges of every single 2008 dollar you encounter, looking for the telltale smoothness of the godless variety. A coin in this condition does not warrant professional grading, as the cost would far exceed the value of a standard coin, but for a confirmed error, authentication and encapsulation by a service like PCGS or NGC would be a wise investment to verify its authenticity and protect it. Look for coins that, despite the dirt, have no signs of artificial damage. The wear and tunning should be natural and consistent with honest circulation, which adds to its story and appeal. In conclusion, the 2008 P. Andrew Jackson presidential dollar is a modern coin with a layered and compelling narrative. Its importance lies not in its metallic composition or its face value, but in its historical context as part of a largely rejected circulating coinage program and its association with a significant mint error. Its rarity, specifically for the plain edge variety in any condition, makes it a standout target for series specialists and error hunters alike. This coin's appeal crosses from the new collector, who can afford a common uncirculated piece, to the seasoned veteran, who understands the thrill of the hunt for a valuable error that could be hiding in plain sight, disguised as a common, dirty dollar. It is a perfect example of how modern numismatics is full of surprises waiting to be discovered. Now, speaking of surprises hidden in plain sight, our next video will feature a coin that is the absolute opposite of this modern dollar. We will be examining a classic 19th century silver coin that is incredibly scarce in any condition, a coin that most collectors only dream of holding. So, make sure you are subscribed and have notifications on, because you will not want to miss the story of this incredibly rare and valuable piece of American history.